very short as things continue to be clarified. And, oh, something just turned on. I have to turn that off. So, something clarifying in terms of, I remember a while back when South Africa was going through um, the transition it was going through. And the music being a big part of that transition. And then also, though, what was really coming is that everyone had been fighting against, the bad forces, and we're going to get those taken care of. And once that was over, and this was Michael Beckwith sharing, he was there, and Nelson Mandela being released from prison. It was this big thing, right? Or his inauguration, and everyone was so focused on that no one really had a vision of moving forward. So everyone that has potentially been focused on just get rid of Trump, if you could just do that, right? It's always something in any one of our lives. The other side would be like, just get them out, and then they'll be, But then there's no vision. And so the whole really purpose and work of Living Heaven and of this is the vision coming in, and you are aware of the things going on. And that's what I realized in the past, a lot of my group, not so much aware of much of anything going on, because it's really about getting a massage, feel good, everything's fine. Being really aware of what's going on in current reality, that is part of alchemy, and then also at the same time having a real vision, not what you want, what you really are, right? What you really are here to do, your dharma. So I'm already getting a sense of 2021 not being a time to go out and do things, and it's a karma yoga time on the planet, because so much of the energy has been trying to run away and escape reality. In the spiritual, circles, sometimes it's that. It's like we're just going to hang out, and there's so much suffering on the planet. And for those that came here to be here at this time and to help in this transition, so some of those beautiful moments for me have been going into the prison and doing that work, going into working with the teenage girls, early on working with Teens Inc., and that was amazing, and going into juvenile hall for the kids, and just doing that kind of work, and many other things that were karma yoga. And with that, you don't get anything out of it personally, right? You don't get high off of it, you don't receive anything, and it, again, it's karma yoga. There's a deep there's a lot of karma on the planet right now, and I know, there's kind of a thing of well, this is my personal work and my personal thing, and I'm not responsible for anything or anyone else. And I would beg to differ on that. In these times, if you feel that you are in a higher spiritual place, and especially if you have resources that others don't, as a spiritual being, the level of responsibility is absolutely to the earth. For those that think that they're coming from other places, why did you come here, right? And it almost seems like, wow, the creation, the sensual pleasures, so they just got so much that this is so great and we're so free, but that's not why you're here, right? So there's this in the webinar, in the thing that the webinar thing. I never know what to call it, because it just starts coming out. It's like, what is it? I don't know. But we're talking, and there's slides. So talking slide thing is there, and if you're interested in that, and if there's any piece of that might sound kind of true, as the next year in 2022, that's going to be a really strong year that you want to be prepared for spiritually, right? So having your affairs in order, they have that, like, have your affairs in order. This one is really like have your spiritual affairs in order. Prepare for 2022. You really need to be ready for that, right? We all do. And my last 3 years has basically, really now I know, taking out a lot of karma and not having the full story told to me, things that happened. I had no idea on many levels. I think other people also have been given half-truths or lies or not. Still don't know what happened, still don't know so much. But there's a really strong, like this new cycle, it was just taken over by everyone else. Like my whole work and my whole circle and everything was just taken over. More and more I'm kind of getting that sense, because I mean, at first I saw everyone went in different directions, no one stayed in contact, and no one was doing anything. And so, and that's, again, as things were really happening, it wasn't my fantasy, it wasn't a dream, it wasn't I was imagining, things were really happening. And I'm being guided to tell you to take a deep breath. Oh, can you, we've got your back, we're in a prayer circle right now. And it's like, not feeling anything, right? I'm the teacher of that group. Like they're not holding, they don't know how, they couldn't. And so that's, this awareness that's really coming so clear right now of what was happening, that everyone went into contraction, into resistance, one by one. People were going out because the energy was getting too powerful and too like real spiritual work and responsibility. And which is also so much of a bliss and a joy, but it's not self-serving, and it's not like that. And then there's some assignments that are really, like the last 3 years, especially the last year, taking on so much energy that just confusing, and the whole giant, it's just been a whirlwind of confusion. And a lot of stuff channeling through, a lot of it not really even necessary or real. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing. So after 3 years, you can see the being that I was originally connecting with, that I was almost like not allowed to connect with. Something happened. I think he was told stories. I was definitely told stories about him. And to keep a connection that strong, that's supposed to be of the level of service that it is, for the last 3 years on this planet and the issues that are going on, now I'm seeing why these messages were coming in that were not so positive. And it's really hard to smile when you're being energetically raped. I have to tell you. I don't know, and then just to say it's all your fault. Like it's all your fault and it's all your karma. It's like, no, it's the group karma, and now it's whoever is coming in and somehow being able to listen or hear that it's all of that karma. And so however that happened, and however it's continuing to happen, and why I cannot connect with Manish. These are questions we have. And we have a picture of Manish and I when we're back in Pushkar, and you can see the sun in the background. Divine Mother always seems to she just comes in different ways. It's such a strong connection with the Mother Earth. And there's no escapism energy in it. It's really solid and grounded, and it's super, super sweet and high energy. And but it's very connected with the earth and the people of the earth and service and all those things. So There's also 5 levels of creation, 5 different levels of creation. And the one came through, it was built on someone else's work, and I mentioned that. And the one that came through was the goddess who is creator. And that's the next level. And it's a very different level than manifester, completely different. So if you're interested in that, looking at that, that's on there too. So the link is below. And wow, what a time we are in. But a lot of karma yoga, a lot of service without receiving anything back for it. And you know, if there's not several thousand hours in that space where you really are clear on that, and you know that's been a huge focus of your life, or it's just who you are, you know, that it's such good times that we're coming into. It's supposed to be. So my last 3 years of like, go get a massage, just rest, and not understanding that you're all breaking your contract, and I have no other income, and I'm sleeping now in the car, and I'm, you know, that's the reality of things. It's not like, just go, oh, it's so beautiful. You're coming into your next level of goddess, you know, and I'm being chased through the streets like an animal. And then to say it online, I was getting hit so hard, and my internet was off and blocked, and so these are the kind of things that were happening. And I guess I'm just lucky, really lucky, but and in some ways I feel, my gosh, astoundingly lucky and fortunate in ways that I haven't participated in certain ways. And for that, I can sleep through the night without, you know, if I'm being woken up for a certain purpose, but I mean, I'm at peace, I'm at total and complete peace. And that's what I want for everyone. But not in a fantasy kind of way, not in a like, I'm just fantastic, like the last person I worked with, and everyone around him was telling him he was just fantastic, and he was not fantastic on a soul level. Oh my goodness. Just the opposite. And then seeing the pandit here, and saying 50 years worth of work had been done in a very short amount of time. Not fantastic. A ton of work to do, and had no idea that it was even there to do. So karma yoga will start to open that up when there's no purpose for the self, when there's no self-serving, there's nothing you're receiving out of it. And it's like, well, that doesn't feel very good. So then that would be a spiritual path. Anything else is sort of a diluted, like, I just want to feel good, and that's not a spiritual path. That would be an ego path that has gotten some kind of, somehow, endorsement from someone that is not it. Not it. Okay, so there's a video if you're curious, if it speaks to you. Don't watch it if it doesn't. And, you know, start hating on it, because if it doesn't speak to you, it doesn't. If that's really, you think that's a spiritual path, you can go ahead. I have my guru papers now, and probably more about that on the video, I can't remember. Jai Ma, Kali Ma, Shiva Shambho.